Desire itself is not destructive. It is neutral force. The danger begins when desire is activated without resolution. This is the stimulation trap, the most normalized and least understood drain on masculine power. The stimulation path follows a predictable sequence: desire, edging, stimulation, frustration, craving, repetition. Nothing completes, nothing settles. Desire is awakened but never honored or redirected. The body is brought to readiness and then abandoned there. This prolonged arousal teaches the nervous system agitation instead of strength. Frustration without outlet does not sharpen a man. It corrodes him. It leaks into posture, breath, patience, tone, and reaction time. He becomes internally rushed, easily irritated, not weak, but brittle. His energy is high-strung instead of grounded. Over time, the brain learns to associate desire with tension rather than direction. Desire stops feeling empowering and starts feeling uncomfortable. The man begins to fear his own impulses because he has no clean way to resolve them. He swings between indulgence and suppression, never mastery. Edging is uniquely destructive because it delays obedience. The boundary is known, but not honored immediately. Each delay trains the subconscious that leadership is negotiable. Self-trust erodes quietly. Authority dissolves without drama. What makes this erosion so dangerous is its invisibility. There is no clear failure point, no dramatic collapse. The man still functions. He still works, trains, speaks, and plans, but something subtle is missing. Density. His decisions feel lighter. His words carry less finality. He senses the loss, but cannot name it, which makes correction harder than relapse ever would. This is why men can retain physically while still weakening internally. The seed is preserved, but the force behind it leaks through agitation, restlessness, and mental noise. Energy stays suspended instead of grounding. The body never fully relaxes because it never fully commits. Biologically, prolonged stimulation keeps cortisol elevated and recovery incomplete. Testosterone signaling becomes erratic. Strength training feels flatter. Aggression loses direction. Voice loses weight. Presence thins. Psychologically, edging collapses time into the present moment. Long-term vision loses emotional pull. The future feels distant and abstract because the nervous system is trained to prioritize immediate stimulation. The man thinks in urges instead of years. A man who loses his relationship with time loses his ability to build. Legacy requires patience, repetition, and emotional distance from impulse. Edging conditions the nervous system to chase immediacy, making long-term effort feel dull or pointless. Vision fades not because the man lacks ambition, but because his energy is constantly being pulled back into the present moment. Spiritually, edging creates division. A man cannot be aligned while entertaining temptation. Scripture warns against divided hearts because division weakens force. A temple cannot be used as a testing ground without consequence. The danger of edging is not collapse, it is erosion. Confidence thins slowly. Discipline becomes performative. Masculinity leaks without alarms. This makes edging easy to justify and devastating over time. Desire is raw creative force. Every civilization, conquest, and vision began as desire. The question is not whether a man feels it, but how he handles it. When desire rises, a man stands at a fork. One path leads sideways into stimulation. The other leads upward through transmutation. This fork appears dozens of times a day, not only sexually, but in thought, attention, and behavior. Each moment of containment strengthens the same internal muscle. Each failure weakens it. Masculine growth is cumulative. What feels insignificant in isolation compounds into character over time. The transmutation path is simple but demanding. Desire, containment, redirection, clarity, power. Here, desire is not fed fantasy or images. It is held in the body. Breath deepens, spine straightens. The energy rises instead of discharging outward. Sexual force becomes creative, assertive, visionary. Transmutation requires patience because the reward is delayed, but multiplied. Energy does not explode, it condenses. Over time, this condensation produces clarity. Thoughts simplify, decisions become obvious. Action feels clean instead of forced. Clarity is the signature of real transmutation, not excitement, not constant intensity, calm certainty, the ability to move without internal negotiation. This is why fully restrained men often feel quieter but more capable. Their power is heavier, not louder. Containment restores hierarchy inside the man. Desire no longer commands the mind. The mind no longer argues with the body. Leadership returns. This internal order is felt externally as presence. Others sense coherence before behavior. Frustration fades when desire is respected instead of teased. The body relaxes because it trusts the man to lead it somewhere meaningful. Energy circulates instead of spiking and crashing. This circulation creates stamina, emotional, mental, spiritual. Stamina is the true mark of power, not explosive bursts of motivation, but the ability to remain steady under pressure without leaking force. A man who transmutes desire becomes reliable to himself and to others. His mood stabilizes. His effort becomes repeatable. He no longer needs constant stimulation to feel alive. If you want to learn more about mastering semen retention, I suggest you read The Semen Retention Blueprint. In this book, you will find 25 chapters of semen retention mastery and the mental, spiritual, and physical benefits. If you want to take a look, the link is in the description below. A man who transmutes desire experiences fewer urges, not because he is numb, but because the energy is already working. Desire does not knock when it is already in motion. It becomes drive, vision, purpose. This is the difference between hunger and appetite. Hunger seeks relief. Appetite seeks creation. Edging keeps a man hungry. Transmutation turns desire into appetite for life itself. Every resisted urge strengthens alignment. Over time, restraint stops feeling like effort and becomes identity. The man no longer fights impulses. He has already decided. Masculine power lives in presence, not intensity. Presence comes from internal coherence. A man who contains himself can contain chaos. A man who cannot will feel overwhelmed by minor stresses because his system is already overloaded. Edging produces tense power. Restraint produces relaxed power. One is brittle and reactive. The other is calm and enduring. Leadership requires self-government. A man who negotiates with impulse cannot command respect. A man who governs himself becomes gravity. Others feel safer around him, even if they cannot explain why. Habit architecture matters. The nervous system needs clear signals. Edging sends mixed messages. Approach and retreat. Excite and suppress. Over time, intuition dulls. Brain fog appears. Instinct weakens. A man disconnected from instinct loses edge everywhere. Sexual energy is not inert. When contained, it seeks expression through building, protecting, organizing, and advancing. When teased, it seeks repetition. The man becomes busy but unproductive, motion without momentum. The deepest cost of edging is not what it drains, but what it prevents from forming. Unbuilt discipline, unforged resilience, unclaimed authority. These absences are felt later as stagnation, regret, or quiet envy toward men who seem effortlessly grounded. Great men simplify. They remove unnecessary decisions. Edging reintroduces choice where none should exist. Automatic discipline frees mental energy for creation and vision. This is where effort transforms into authority. When restraint becomes instinct, leadership no longer feels forced. The man does not posture or assert dominance. He simply occupies space fully. His certainty reduces friction around him. Decisions land cleanly because they come from alignment rather than internal debate. History does not remember men who were endlessly stimulated. It remembers men who waited, endured, built, and sacrificed. Masculinity is forged through chosen restraint, not constant indulgence. When edging stops, the nervous system relearns safety. Sleep deepens, breath slows, movement becomes deliberate. The man feels heavier in his body, anchored instead of scattered. A man who masters his energy becomes dangerous in the best sense. Dangerous to mediocrity, dangerous to chaos, dangerous to stagnation. His presence regulates rooms. He does not leak himself into moments that do not matter. He becomes someone who matters. Thanks for watching, brother. Remember, live with honor or die a coward.